For your study, you adopted a methodology that's fundamental to social science, the use of a control group. But this actually hasn't been used in a lot of failures or studies of intelligence failures. You compared well-known intelligence failures like Pearl Harbor or 9/11 to cases where the surprise was actually thwarted or stopped. What did you learn from studying it that way?
Well, it's fascinating that most of what we know about intelligence, and especially about how intelligence works, comes from intelligence failures when things don't go right. What I wanted to do was find out what happens when intelligence works, when intelligence succeeds in preventing a surprise attack or preventing a terrorist attack. And what I expected to find was that I would find that conventional wisdom would be borne out. In other words, I would find that when intelligence works, it's because intelligence analysts connect the dots. They sort of put together widely scattered bits of information. They come up with a theory, a hypothesis, bring it to a decision maker, and the decision maker says, you're brilliant, you're imaginative, let's go stop something bad from happening. But I found that's not what happens. In fact, there are many cases of brilliant analysis connecting the dots that didn't do any good. What does seem to work is when intelligence collectors, not analysts, but collectors, it's actually the harder job of finding the intelligence in the first place. When collectors can find very specific, precise information, what in a military sense we call tactical or operational intelligence, and then they need to take it to a decision maker, a policy maker, a leader who is receptive, who understands intelligence and is willing to listen. And often, in fact, that second part is the hardest part of the intelligence business.
And that's what I found fascinating reading your book, that it's often the intelligence or the intelligence that gives sound warning, and the policymaker fails to heed that accurate warning. What causes that policymaker not to heed the warning?
Well, many intelligence experts and insiders, and also many academic scholars of intelligence, have argued that the main reason for intelligence failure, the main reason why our assessments aren't used, is because policymakers don't listen. And I didn't find that's exactly the case. What I found was that policymakers think they want long-range, big-picture strategic intelligence. They want somebody to connect the dots and come up with a brilliant assessment. But that's not what convinces them. Decision makers, whether they're military, governmental, civilian, decision makers, I found, don't want to make a difficult, dangerous decision based on a hunch, on an assessment, on somebody just connecting the dots. They want to know specifically what the nature of the problem is and what specifically I need to do in order to solve it. That's what makes them receptive to intelligence.